said, because this
Tell me
meeting
about
is
Clark
this meeting is being recorded.
as of right now. Tell me about Clark.
Yeah, okay, Martin, tell us tell us about Clark.
He's your buddy for life, so you should go.
Well, what can I say? I mean, he's Clark, and he, as we said earlier, he enriches our lives every time he participates. So it's
That is not what you were saying earlier.
it's
So the question was, if you had a gun to your head
oh, oh, we're oh,
and you had to penetrate your good friend Clark,
it's
the question is, do you do the full jackhammer and finish the job, or just do an inch and get out? And what was your response?
what happened. My response at the time was, well, since Clark and I, we don't swing that way. It would be like the inch. The inch would be the obvious choice because that's our only choice.
So the official response is that you would actually enter him for just the 1 inch,
Get
just to
it out.
fulfill the gun to the head situation, and then you would be out.
That's right,
So,
because we both
so
want to
my
live.
my question again, my follow up question was, what if he said, you know what, that wasn't so bad, and since we're good friends, why don't you just go ahead and finish? What if he said what?
If he said that, well, then I'd say, well, you're good. We know your good buddy Marty. He does swing that way, so maybe you should
So,
maybe you should let him try it on you next time.
so next time there's a gun to the head, it's going to be all right, because that would happen again. There's a very good chance that would happen again. So very interesting.
Sorry.
So you would leave Clark like buck naked on the bed, you know, lubed up, gave him the 1 inch, got out, and then you'd be like, all right, this, I fulfilled what I had to fulfill, but I'm not really into it. So you need to call another dude. Is that what you're saying? Again, he's your buddy for life. He's like your best friend.
That's right.
And
That's
that's the
right.
way you would treat him.
That's the way I would treat.
So, all right, that's fair. I mean, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
I don't know how he'll feel when he hears about that, but
You think he'll feel rejected or something?
I would. I mean, I would. I wouldn't feel right.
Man, I really feel like Howboy and Mitchell should be participating in this conversation right now.
Well, we could put in an answer for them if you want, because we know them so well. So now maybe they'll be here next time,
Yes,
and we could figure it out.
this weekend. Well, the one good thing about this is like a preliminary meeting, so you can put the recording out there, and they can be entertained by it, and then they'll decide that yes, they want to participate.
I mean, it's a legit question. I mean, it's like I said, gun to your head questions they must be answered. We know this.
All right, I gave you. I guess I gave you the legitimate answer, right?
You did, and I'm not going to make fun of you for it. You had to do it. You had to do it.
So what's is
My
Marty
no, my
Martin
question for Martin.
question?
Here's a question for Martin. This is an and why. So if you had the chance to jackhammer a young Julie Newmar, and she said, "Well, you can, but the only stipulation I have is that when you're finished, I get to kick you in the balls 3 times as hard as I can." Would you do it, or would you not? And give me and why.
I would not.
You would not, but why though?
Did you not hear your own question?
I did, but I want to know. I want to know why you would turn that down. That's some U.S. prime stuff there.
Carm, tell him.
I mean, I've been kicked in the balls and it hurts, but I'm just saying.
I guess Martin thinks he's gonna be made for life and he'll be done. And that'll be his last chance to ever have sex with a woman at that point. I'm guessing.
It's first and only.
That's his
Yeah.
reason. Otherwise, like Bub and I are thinking, it might be worth it.
Listen, I've been kicked in the balls. We all have. So we know it hurts.
Yes.
3 times is like probably put you in the hospital.
Well,
you may have to.
now
You may have to pull a lefty.
let's take
Stuff
another.
snipped off.
Let's take a look at now. Does she have like stiletto heels on when she's kicking you or something? Is she kicking you with her bare
I
foot?
don't think it matters.
Yeah, I don't know if it matters, but I don't know. We'll say bare feet. But it's like, it's underneath. It's like the top of the foot.
Oh, it's a good movie scene that comes to mind.
I can't lift the leg very much because I'm old. But the point is, it's like it's not like the toe like you're old school NFL kicker. It's like the top of the foot.
Okay,
the top of the ink, the where it bends. So you're doing this. But my thing is, I'm assuming that it's assuming that could do some permanent damage. But I was just kind of curious if that'd be worth it or not.
So a good movie scene that comes to mind is the Daniel Craig James Bond Blofeld, where he's getting tortured with the big rope. Remember that?
What was that in? Which one was that in?
That was the first Daniel Craig movie.
Yeah, it's in Casino Royale.
Casino Royale.
Yeah, remember that? It was kind of near the end.
I've seen it twice, and I'm trying to remember now the rope. What's the rope scene?
That was kind of that first time I saw that was kind of a rough scene. I was like, man. And then he's got his what's his witty remark he makes? He makes like he's talking trash, like he's already had both of his testicles, like, I don't know, smashed, I guess, and he still makes some statement that pisses blow or nah, it wasn't.
I'm honestly trying to remember, like the torture scene.
Yeah, that's a great scene, Martin. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, but I haven't seen that in a long time. So.
Yeah, I haven't either. So I'm trying to think.
But I don't know.
I'm trying to see what
It is like you said. As I think about that, that's like some USDA prime cut there, right?
Yeah, that's
Martin's
about
giving
it.
up.
I'm just saying that's pretty good. Yeah, I'll look at it later.
Like that might be the best, like the hottest chick he's ever had.
You
he's
think?
Giving it up.
You think that might be? That might be. Is that a question?
I was just being polite.
You're being very polite.
Just being polite.
So the official thing is we're not doing. I'm actually kind of shocked by that. So
yeah, I was too.
all right, Carm, is there a everyone's got that I say everyone, I don't know if everyone does do this or not, have that celebrity is there a celebrity out there that you would where basically you would risk losing your marriage over? I'm not saying do it and record it and put it out there, but I mean, just in general, is there somebody that's like, you know what? If my marriage falls apart, if my wife would somehow find out about this, it would be worth it because, I got the jackhammer, whoever the fuck,
Are we talking about like? Are we talking about who we
prime?
Like right now?
No, just we'll say they're in their prime. So if it's like Cindy Crawford,
right,
it's like 25-year-old Cindy Crawford.
As of the moment, they're currently in their prime.
Yeah, it's a magical thing. So with my magical powers, I'm saying I'm making this happen.
Okay, I got.
I'm making this happen. So as in, if it were Jenny McCarthy, because I know you love her. So the point was, not like there's anything against the 48-year-old Jenny McCarthy. She's a very attractive woman. My thing is, 25. I'm just saying that's when you really dug her. So,
All
so I'm
right.
it. So I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I thought about Jenny McCarthy because we know you love her. We know you loved her. We know you loved her, but we know you were also so scared of your wife that you threw away that poster you had of her because she didn't want it. So this could be a bit of a Pike County grudge situation, even though I don't even know the definition of that, but it could be. So
So like
you would
Catherine,
risk it. She came to you. She's 25. She's like, she looks at you and she goes, "Man, I've always been attracted to, nerdy Purdue grads. So, let's go to the hotel."
let's go to town.
And you're assuming no one will ever find out because you're not going to tell anybody. She's not going to tell anybody, obviously, because why would she tell anybody about you? That's embarrassing. So realistically, probably no one's going to find out about. So, but would you risk it? Well, I just threw her out, but if there's somebody else you can throw out, is there someone?
I guess I'd say Catherine Zeta-Jones in her prime.
That's a good one. Like entrapment, Catherine Zeta-Jones,
Yeah, or
Zorro, like Zorro, and that era,
yeah,
the
yeah,
late '90s, early 2000s.
yeah, yep.
It's a pretty good call.
That
Yeah, the
era.
Zorro entrapment, Catherine Zeta-Jones is pretty phenomenal.
What was the one with wasn't Sean Connery in a movie with her?
That's the entrapment. So
Is that the entrapment one?
yeah,
Is that the one with the two towers there and
at the end,
yeah, there in what was it Malaysia or whatever, where the two skyscraper
yeah, the idea that to do that break in or whatever the deal was,
Petronas
like
Towers.
cat burglar stuff. I think.
Yeah,
Been a
yeah,
while since I've seen it, but she was pretty phenomenal
yeah,
at that time. So
yeah. So I'd say Catherine Zeta-Jones.
all right, well
Mark,
again,
by the
your
way,
wife's not going to watch this video, so she'll have no idea.
Just for the record, my wife is aware that I think she's hot. Catherine Zeta-Jones.
All right, well, I'm guessing your wife knows that you find other women attractive, but question is, you would risk the marriage. It sounds like you would, so which is kind of impressive. I don't think I'd have the balls, but I'll give you a little bit of credit. Martin. What's a good one for Martin? Carm, you got a good one for Martin?
No, not necessarily. I wasn't prepared for this, I guess. So if you've got something,
Well, yeah, but it's for another day. Martin will do the blind or deaf one. How about the blind or deaf? Kind of a classic. Blind or deaf? You had to choose. Which one would you rather be the rest of your life? And why?
Hearing impaired.
Yeah. So I'm kind of with you. I would rather be deaf. And being blind would let's just say it, Carm, being blind would fucking suck.
yeah.
Just the idea of, I guess it would be, yeah, I can't imagine. Because again, you could still read, you could still, get subtitles in movies.
I wonder.
You can still, whatever, drive a car, work or whatever. Man, I don't,
You
Now, having
know,
said all that, I realize that deaf and blind people do live normal lives, but I'm just thinking me at my age now trying to do that would seem impossible. Trying to how to learn how to do that. I think deaf would be, I think that'd be my call.
yeah.
I think I'd go that route.
I kind of wonder if most, like women like to say, or yeah, I think women accuse men of being the more visually sensitive, and women aren't as much. So I wonder if, like, you ask a woman the question, would she say, how many of them would take deaf, being, you know, being blind as a choice. That would be their first choice.
I have to ask, man. I'm kind of curious on. I don't know which one she would pick.
Yeah, I need to ask Molly, but I kind of think she might say visually impaired, but maybe not.
Should I say visually impaired?
I'm sorry, blind.
No, I'm gonna say should I? I mean, I want to make sure.
Well, no,
I don't
it's
want you to
just
be angry at me if I'm
you know,
being on
I kind of
PC.
like just to be clear, blind.
Hearing,
You know,
hearing impaired or visually impaired.
blind.
All right.
You know, because if you say visually impaired or hearing impaired, then that still implies maybe you've got a small degree of
Correct.
sight or hearing left.
Impaired, but good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Carm, your choices are 4 foot tall, 9 foot tall. Nine's kind of ridiculous. 8. 4 foot tall, 8 foot tall.
8 foot tall.
That kind of seems obvious, right? That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah.
But again, you have all problems that would go. I mean, just trying to think health problems, knees going out, back going out, no clothes fit you. No, you can't sit comfortably. You can't ride an airplane, things like that. I would think, like, how you're 8 foot tall. How are you able to do this? 4 foot tall, you can do all that stuff, but you were just, people will. You're 8 foot tall. People look at you like, man, I bet that guy played basketball and blah blah blah. When you're 4 foot tall, people look at you a little bit different, right?
Right. Right. No, I'd still take 8 foot tall.
So, Martin, 8 foot tall or 4 foot tall? Remember, Ralphie's not too far. Ralphie's close.
Trying to
A little
speed
bit
up
hell
my
of a life.
computer here.
He's what?
Trying to speed up my computer here.
Speed it up. 4 foot, 8 foot. What are you thinking?
I guess 8 feet.
Kind of makes sense. I think I would go 8.
Because
And it wouldn't be.
clearly we could dunk a basketball at that point.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how I could, well, yeah, I'm just saying magically now at your age, if you were, it'd be one thing if you grew up that way because you're thinking that maybe you could have made some money somehow, basketball or something.
Yeah.
Maybe that'd be a different story. I'm saying if you magically just here or there, that'd be interesting. Interesting. I don't know. Thinking. How about you have a good one here. About that's a little too boring. About the taste of you have the taste of vomit in your mouth all the time, or the taste of what would be the opposite? Something that's like maybe just like too salty. Seems kind of easy though. Probably go the salt route.
Too salty or taste of vomit.
Yeah. I mean, just think about if you had, you poured some salt in your hand and you just kind of licked or ate it, and that taste, how crazy that is. So salt or vomits, but you had that taste in your mouth for the rest of your life. The vomit, like when you throw up in your mouth a little bit, and you kind of got that thing.
Yeah,
Which do you think would bother you?
I don't know. It's kind of a weird question because.
Yes, it is a weird question.
I mean, because realistically, you'd be desensitized to it. So would it really matter?
Let's say, I mean,
you would just become numb to it.
That is the only taste that you'll ever have in your mouth ever again. So, like, if you ate, a hamburger, a piece of pizza, you can never taste that. You can never taste another thing the rest of your life. Everything you would taste or eat would just taste like that vomit or that salt. And I mean the crazy salt, like, they would both kind of make you sick.
I guess I would choose the salt. I don't know what. They're just because. Yeah, it just seems like the safe answer is salt.
It does kind of seem like that's the case. Yeah, we'd go salt. Man, they both just make you sick, right? Isn't that the idea? They both just kind of make you sick for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
I don't know.
salt would be like just kind of like dry all the time, right? Like a dry kind of mouth, like you'd always be yearning for water for the rest of your life, right?
Oh, makes sense. There you go. So maybe vomit.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
Maybe
know. Maybe I'd choose vomit for
I
that
don't wonder.
reason. Like I don't want to be thirsty. It's just I don't
It's like
know.
vomit is, it's gross, but I would just think that the salt taste would maybe even make
Hey,
you more sick. Maybe.
yeah, like
I don't think how that would actually work, but
yeah.
I don't know. All right, I just kind of wondered. Made sense to me. The
I was thinking vomit might be like constant acid reflux for the rest of your life.
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of wonder. It's all bad.
I don't know. Neither one would be a good choice. But if I had, geez, I don't know. I guess I just choose to be thirsty for the rest of my life.
Yeah, they're both. I would say they're both bad. I'm not a big fan. Salt kind of makes sense because you're thinking it, but I think you would actually eventually make more. You get sicker. I think.
Yeah.
I guess, but I don't know.
How did you
What?
come up with these? I got to ask a question. How did you? How long have you been pondering these questions? You
Well,
just kind of,
these are popping in my head. I have some things that are kind of written down for another time.
yeah.
I'm just trying to think of something gross. Like, would you rather drink? I don't know. Would you rather drink pond water, or would you rather drink swimming pool water after there was like a huge kids party? So they all peed in it. Or pond water, just a couple of ounces or whatever, or a glass full or something.
I'd take the pool water because I
Pool
know
water, it's got gross stuff in it.
yeah, but it's been chlorinated. It's got
So you think,
chlorine in it.
but
I'd take the pool water.
do you think that 100% works? You think that
I think
fact
it's
it's got all the
better.
chemicals in there? Well,
I think it's better than the pond water that's untreated. That's my thought.
pond water is just gross water, but for a fact that there are children that are
Well,
peeing in the pool.
well, let me ask you this. Where's the pond located? Is it located up in the Rocky Mountains? It's like a fresh mountain fed spring that's feeding into it. I'm like, if that's the case, then clearly I'd take the pond water.
Nah, it's pond water. It's like Midwest.
Like
It's Midwest gross sitting around.
in the middle of a
It's pond water.
big city that's got plenty of
You can't see in it. It's just normal
Oh well, then yeah, clearly
algae and gross
I'm
stuff.
gonna take. I'm gonna
Fish guts or whatever the hell sits in there. I don't know.
I'm taking it's easy. I'm taking the chlorinated pool water, even though it's gross.
All right.
It's one of these gun to our heads questions, right?
Yeah,
But,
of course.
yeah,
They all are.
right. Yeah, I don't know if
Give an
Martin would
answer.
have an answer to the question.
I have no answer.
So it's all good. All right.
I think Martin needs to answer a question.
Any question?
That was now. Wait a second, Martin. That wasn't a choice. Yeah, gun to head.
Yeah, that's true. It is a gun to the head question.
One or the other.
Nope. He didn't have to answer.